Hi, it's Starla from Starla's Creative Teaching Tips, and today I got a great lesson for you. Ready? It is so cool. Boom, 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 boom. It's about the heartbeat. What makes that sound of boom, 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 boom? Whether we're listening with a stethoscope or we have our ear on somebody's chest, we hear that thump, boom, boom, boom. What makes that sound? So here's your answer. You ready? So, have you ever, got a little angry and taken a door and boom, you shut it? Yeah, we all have, right? Well, that slamming is just exactly what you're hearing inside the heart. The heart has one-way valves that direct the flow of blood from the atria, remember A for atria, down into the ventricles, and then from the ventricles into the arteries, the pulmonary artery and the aortic artery. We don't want blood to go backwards. The heart never wants to repump something that are already pumped. Then you're making it work too hard. So when you hear those valves shut, that's that. Boom, 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 boom. So let's break it down even a little more for you, okay? Let's look inside the heart. My favorite medical illustration, this is Frank Netter, okay? He has great illustrations. This is a coronal cut of the heart, you see, just like an avocado, and we're looking inside. Now let's get oriented. This right here, look at the ventricle. See, V for ventricle. All right, now you can see how thin the heart wall or the muscle is, the myocardium is on this side compared to this side. That is because this is the right side. Now listen, the heart, remember we located it right here? The right side of the heart pumps to the lungs, which is right next door. So you don't have to have a lot of muscle to do that. But the left side, yeah, that baby pumps all the way through the body, include all the way down to your big toe. So it's got to have some spunk. It's got to have some muscle. In fact, the left side of your heart will pump exactly the same amount of blood as your right, but it'll pump it 5 times further or more, depending on how good a shape you're in. Isn't that cool? Okay, now let's go back to the inside. Here's our atria, and here's our ventricle. Do you see these valves? See, these are leaflets. See them? And they look like parachutes, so they're called cuspids. Yeah, okay. All right, now, do you see these strings hanging down? Good. They're called chordae tendineae. Now, your instructor may pronounce it a little different. That's fine, as long as you can spell it correctly, okay? And these strings are attached to this muscle. You see it? And what it does is it keeps that leaflet from going any further than here. Kind of like on your screen door, you have a chain or a bar that keeps the door from going any further. That's exactly how these work, okay? Now, on the right side of the heart, you have 3 cuspids, so it's called tricuspid valve. On the left side, you have 2 cuspids, so it's called the bicuspid valve. And because sometimes it reminded the anatomist of the hat that the Pope wears called the mitre, they'll call this valve the mitral valve. So bicuspid and mitral valve are the same thing. Okay, now here's what's neat. When the atrias contract, your right side and left side, even though they're 2 pumps, they work together. And here's the ventricles. Okay, when the ventricles are filling with blood, the cuspids are wide open. They're just hanging down, letting blood flow from the atria down to the ventricles. So the cuspids are open most of the time. They're just hanging down, hanging out. Okay, everybody good? That doesn't make any sound. Now, when the ventricles begin to contract, that blood is going to try to go back where it came from. But no, it's not going to happen because those cuspids are going to, boom, just like when we slam that door. They're going to slam shut. Okay? All right, do it with me. You have to be a bicuspid because we don't have 3 arms. Okay, here we go. Hang your bicuspid leaflets down. Here we go. Getting ready to contract. And boom! Good job. Okay. Now, when we do this, we're going to say cuspids because not only is it just the bicuspid, but the tricuspid is doing exactly the same thing. You ready? 1, 2, 3. Cuspid. Good job. Okay, now, we're going to say lub. When the cuspids slam shut, it's L-U-D, lub sound. Lub, right? 1, 2, 3, lub. Perfect. Okay. Now the other set of valves in the heart are found in the arteries, and they take the name of the artery they're with. Okay? So if they're in the pulmonary artery, they're called the pulmonary. If they're in the aorta, they're called the aortic. Now these valves are made of 3 half-moon leaflets. So they're called semi for half, lunar, half moons. There's 3 leaflets together. Now, from the top, they look like a peace sign. From the side here, you see, they kind of look like a bowl, how they're captured. And it's a lot like when you guys have to go out and maybe pick up toys, or you have to pick up, you know, tomatoes out of the garden. And so you can't hold it all in your hands, so you take your shirt and you fill your shirt up. Yeah, you're being a semi-lunar valve. Okay? All right, now let's become one. So these little leaflets, there's 3 of them, 3 semi-lunars, and they come together. They're closed most of the time, because when the blood comes out of the ventricle, they fold back and flutter. And then when the heart begins to relax and the blood tries to come back down, boom, we catch it. Yeah, so this is a catch. Okay, so just do it with me. Ready? Become a semi-lunar valve. 1, 2, 3, flutter. Get ready, catch, catch. Perfect. Okay, now this time we're going to do 1, 2, 3, and we're going to flutter, and then we're going to say dub, D-U-B. Okay, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Ready? Dub. Excellent. Okay, so remember, cuspids open most of the time. When they close, it's lub. Semilunars are closed most of the time. Okay? They open, and then when they close, they say dub. Okay? So let me just show you real quick. All right? So on this one right here, you see the blood flowing in. Okay? And then you see when the ventricles are starting to contract and squeeze the blood, they shut. You see the cuspids are shut, and they're popping open the semilunars. Blood will now flow out of that. See it going out? Good. And then when it tries to come back down, you see that the semilunars shut. Okay? Isn't that neat? All right, so just remember, they're always opposite. If the cuspids are open, semilunars are closed. Vice versa. Okay, now let's do our hands. Okay, so here we go. Hang your hands. Here's your atrias. Okay, put them together. Okay, blood's coming in. Contract your atrias. Very good. Now flip your hands. There's no sound so far. Okay, now we're getting ready to contract. Here we go. When we do this, we're going to shut the cuspids. So here we go. Cuspids. All right, blood's flowing out. Now we're starting to relax. Semilunars. Atrias, no sound. Here we go. Ready? Cuspids, semilunars. Cuspids, semilunars. Excellent. Cuspids, semilunars. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to add lub dub. Here we go. Ready? Lub dub. Nice. Lub dub. There's your heartbeat. Ready? Boom, boom. Boom, boom. Lub dub. Lub dub. There you go. Isn't that neat? That is what the heart sounds are made of. You're hearing the heart valves slam shut. Now, I'm going to throw in a little pathology for you. What would happen if we heard this? We put a stethoscope and we were listening and we saw this. Well, we heard this. Ready? Lub whoosh dub. Lub whoosh dub. Lub whoosh dub. It's a murky sound. After the lub sound, you're hearing what's called a heart murmur. And a heart murmur is a leaky valve. That means after the lub, one of the cuspid valves, we can't tell by listening, but one of the cuspid valves is leaking blood back into the atria where it's not supposed to go. All right, now how severe that is will depend on if we have to medically do something about it, okay? Because if you don't, then the heart has to work harder to repump that blood, and that's going to cause other problems, which we'll talk about in another YouTube video, okay? All right, this lesson, for those of you that want more of it, okay, is right here on my website, right here. My website's right there. And it's this lesson right here, Stars Notes, Module 4A, the heart. All right? Okay, great job. Now you can do blood pressure with your hands, and you can do heart sounds with your hands. You guys are awesome. Go out in the world, make a positive difference in someone's life today.